Good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Philly Friday Frenzy here with Big Al of the It's a Wrap Sports Network, bringing you all the great Phillies news here on the lovely Friday evening in the Philadelphia area. And tell me if you heard this one before. The Phillies are down 7-0 in the seventh inning with men on first and third and 2 outs. And tell me if you heard this one before. Taijuan Walker sucks. Yeah, sucks. Big time. Yeah, still sucks. I was hoping maybe, just maybe, he could just get his shit together. Just be good enough. And he can't. He absolutely can't. And it's oh my God, it's bad enough this team's offensively just cold as ice. Bases loaded, first inning, nothing burger. Their pitcher not doing a great job. Really, just not doing a great job. And they couldn't take advantage of this. And it's horrifying to watch. Absolutely horrifying. And I mean, we're going to talk about the Phillies a little bit. We will get into the postgame. As for those who are new to the way I do the program on Fridays, I start a little early or I start on time, right before the game's over. That way we could talk all the other Phillies sports, and then we will break down the actual Phillies game from tonight. First game of the series against the Braves, first place Braves, and they're putting up a big nothing burger. All right, and it's exhausting. Okay, so that's why I'm wearing my Flyers hat, my Jersey Shore t-shirt tonight, because you know what? I want nothing to do with them tonight. Like I just don't. I don't know what to say about this team that is going to excite them. You want to say excite them, to turn them around, to get the juices a flowing. I don't know, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's talk about anything else. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk Philadelphia Eagles. We're 1 week away from the draft. 1 week away from the draft. And what are your guys' feelings? I have a feeling, and I'll get in mine in a minute, but I'll let your guys' feelings. I want to know what your guys' feelings are. What are the Eagles' plans for the draft this year? Best player available? Position of need? Like, do they stay in the trenches in the defensive line versus offensive line? Do they go offensive line first round? Knowing that their guy will probably be sitting most likely for the first year, unless outside of injury, which is very, very plausible for this O-line after what we saw last year. Now, the numbers would say that they would be healthier than they were last year. And the health of the offensive line would be really the biggest difference between a more successful 2025 season than they had, in my eyes, personally. Like, I honestly think that the offensive line could have been the major difference between an Eagles run. I'm not saying win the Super Bowl, but an Eagles run. Now, the offense was very stagnant. Hurts didn't have his greatest year, still better year than some. The A.J. Brown dropsies, the BS with AJ and all that throughout the season. That was also an issue, don't get me wrong. But the defense was playing well. If the running game could have been better and the offensive line could have been better to enhance this running game, they could have had I think they beat San Fran at the very least. I don't know if they beat Seattle or anything like that, but I think they beat San Fran at the very least and then go on to the divisional round at the very least. But does Howie Roseman, does he go with offensive line, or do you lean more defensive line? Does he go safety? Does he go off the beaten path and go get another wide receiver if there's a really good one available? Don't tell me quarterback, because I'm just going to choke. I've had enough. I'm already my blood pressure's here with with the Phillies. So don't even go there with that. Don't even go there with that. But where does Howie Roseman go? They're making their visits. They recently had their camp day. Well, not camp day. What do you call it? Their visit day, where they people came in and visit the team. And they're looking at some guys. Caden Proctor, the Alabama offensive lineman's guy. He's a top 30 visit. They had the edge rusher from UCF. Malachi, is it Malachi? It's spelled differently. Malachi Lawrence. He's another one. Could he be a guy that takes over, or do they trade? Do the Eagles make a trade in the first round? You know, we got AJ Brown in a trade the first round with Tennessee. Do they get rid of him or anybody? I'm not just saying it has to be him, but do they make a trade in the first round and use that and get another second round pick, a later pick for next year? Because this draft is a good draft. It's got some really good players, and not to say we couldn't get great players out of it, but like on paper, as of right now, there isn't any like brain busting like guys that everybody wants to have. Like you get your Mendoza for a quarterback, but there's no stud offensive lineman, or more probably on the edge than the offensive line. Joe Howell, what is going on, my friend? And yes, to answer your question, I will be opening lines actually very shortly. We're going to talk that all the way into the post game. For those who are new, on my Friday evening shows, I try to open up the lines where I put a link in the comments. You can click. You can ask me questions. I'll ask you questions. Get your 2 cents out. Because right now, I need you to help me from a psychological standpoint. I am usually a pretty level-headed guy when it comes to my Philly sports at this point, like considerably. There's times I will lose my mind, and the effects of my team will play effects in my everyday life. Like if I'm having the Eagles lose, I'm gonna have a bad day. That's gonna happen. But my question is, like, these Phillies, there's a problem. There's a systemic problem. And I have been very vocal about putting a lot of emphasis on the team as the players, the big ticket guys, And it's not wrong, but there's a systemic problem. And I really think it's time to move on from the coach. And I usually am the last person to blame the coach. But when a systemic problem is this bad and it's everybody up and down the lineup, and a lineup that's questionable at best, I get worried. And I get noticeable. It's the guy who's putting the lineups together. And that's in my eyes, you got to start blaming the top guy. And you can put a blame on Dombo, but that's in my eyes, you can't. Firing him in midseason isn't going to do anything. Firing a coach midseason or early on, in this case, could make the difference. We saw it actually in 2022 when we got Tomper over when they let Joe Girardi go. And Kyle Schwarber strikes out swinging. They're for those who are wondering, we're bottom of the seventh, 2 outs, man on first. Bryce Harper is up. Schwarber just struck out swinging. And it's just like, tell me you never heard that one before. It's like I feel like I could just go get some of my old recordings and just play it tonight and take the freaking night off. I don't think anybody would be noticing the difference. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the Eagles draft and what you think will happen. What do you want to happen? That kind of stuff. What doesn't have to be a player. I know everybody's not a draft expert. I'm no draft expert. I don't want even people to think that. I don't pretend to be. I find guys that are tops in the draft. I go do some deep rabbit hole research on them. That kind of stuff. based on guys I like, especially, don't get me wrong, the O lineman, like that's that's a big, big part for me. Um, but do they go tried and true in the trenches? Do they go more safety, secondary guys? Do they go offensively and go get a tight end in the first round? Do they go get a wide receiver in the first round, or do they make a trade? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on that? And also, with the hat on, of course, I know I don't talk Flyers a lot, but I am a huge Flyers fan. For those who know, I did all the clear the ice for the years with Matt when I was more readily available to do so. With Matt and Mike and the other guys at the time too. But big game tomorrow night, 8 o'clock in Pittsburgh. Flyers start off, square off. Not to sound too much like a homer, because I know I'll get it. I think the Flyers have a really good fighting chance in this series. I think they match up with the Penguins well. You're going to get Ristolainen back, which is a big change, a big difference. They're matched up points wise. For it's just the Flyers are 43, 27, 12. They're 41, 25, and 16. This is their playoff, matchup record, season series 2-2-0. But they got their top scorer in there, Konechny, who's and Vladar has been just what always any Flyers fan growing up was always the goalie. Like, where are we going to get goaltending? Who's going to be the net minder that we need? We always seem to be losing out on that. So I put the link in. So if you want to start making your calls now, that's absolutely fine. I'm opening up the lines. Sixers are in the playoffs. Maxey led the team for them to limp in that play-in game to a 109-97 win over the Magic. Of course, Joel Embiid had a appendectomy. Only Joel Embiid. Like, if I woke up today and on Twitter it said Joel Embiid's foot fell off, I don't know if I'd blink. I don't know if I'd question it. Bruce, my friend, how are you doing? This is my favorite Harper right here on the screen, Bruce Harper. Right now, and I'm not even blaming Bryce. Bryce probably doing better games of anybody else tonight. But it is what it is on that one. These Phillies are just it's gonna be a long summer. I'm in April 17th, and I'm almost trying to call out sick with this team, because they're making me sick. But my question to you on the Sixers is, do you have any faith in the Sixers? I think they get walloped. Gentlemen sweep at best against the Celtics. I really have no desire to even entertain them winning this. And I think only if they win it, it's just going to let somehow slide by and give Daryl Morey and Josh Harris and the rest of them something to stand on to keep Nick Nurse and them all around. Like, that's the only thing. Al, I feel you're right about the Phillies, and I was wrong. I don't know if we were right or wrong. I'm not sure exactly, Bruce, what you're talking about. We'll get to that in a moment. But I do have my main man, Joe, on the line. He's always asking for that line opening up, and the line is open. Joe Hal, my friend, you got your
I'm going old school Celtics jersey. It's not the new, in case everybody wants to bash me. I'm going with the hardwood classic.
I did not. I'll be honest with you. I did not know you were a Celtics fan.
I'm not.
You just hate the Sixers that much?
No, I'm a big Larry Bird fan. That's it.
Oh, Larry Bird fan. Okay. All right. Hey, guys, tell me if you heard this one before. The Phillies are down 8-0 now. That's right. Home run. And it's off Orion Kirkering this time. They are a lost team, Joe. Not to get you off the sidetrack here, but what do you got for me tonight, Joe?
I said this to Matty B. You're absolutely right. There needs to be a change. At least the showman.
Hey, listen, he said it before I did. I'm going to give him the credit where credit's due. I'm not as quick to pull triggers. Does that make him more right or wrong than the other person? I don't know. But in my eyes, you can't pull triggers. But he's not wrong. It's not 20 games. You know what I mean? It's 320 games. You know what I mean? It's more than that. Yeah. Probably. It's the same. Just figure out how many games they played since late October in Arizona. You know what I mean? Ever since that all turnaround, it has not. It's been the same song and dance, and they always get us hooked, and then, bleh.
So my thing is, yes, the Sixers will lose.
Okay.
Um,
How do
my
they lose?
thing is,
Do they lose
uh,
triumphantly? Do they give you something to hope for, like in 7 games, or do they get spanked?
your heart gets broken out if you want to go back to when Toronto won it on a
Oh, you're saying
bounce
like
on a bounce.
quadruple doink or whatever it was
Yeah,
called. So you
yeah,
think
it's
the
going to be
Sixers put
like
up a
that.
fight? And here's the thing. Let me just
Yes,
preface with this. I think the Sixers got a lot of dogs in them. They just don't have enough dogs. You know what I'm saying? In
I
Maxey, I think is a great player. VJ Edgecombe, maybe the one plus of the playing game to give him a little taste of that playoff basketball. Andre Drummond played out of his mind, shooting threes for whatever reason, but hitting them.
your
Hits hits
your
a double double
future.
with a dagger three at the end of the game. That was cool. Don't get me wrong, that was cool, but you can't live by that.
No, Sixers losing 6.
Saying 6, so okay,
Fly-
I'm giving him a gentleman's sweep, but okay.
Flyers win it in 5.
5.
Um,
It's hard for me to take a
but
person serious when
something
I see a
concern.
Celtics jersey, but I like what you're thinking on the Flyers thing.
Okay. Oh,
I think that's
um,
a very reasonable win. I think this Flyers team is well built and is hot at the right time. You know what I'm saying? They're hot at the right time. I don't like this little
yeah.
lull from what was it, Tuesday to Saturday, but it gave chance for Ristolainen to
But
get
here's
himself
what's scary.
situated to get back.
Owen Tippett got hurt yesterday in practice.
I saw that.
I don't know if anybody knew that. Yes, he left the ice in practice.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to say I didn't see too much about it. I'm not sure if if there's much to write about. Um, like I haven't heard too much of.
I got
He said he's a bit here. This is what I read on Twitter. This is the last thing I saw. Let me see. This was from about this was yesterday. Tocchet said Owen Tippett is a bit
okay.
banged up, but him leaving practice midway through is more of Tockett's decision. So he doesn't think Tippett needs to skate that much at this point. Expect him to be good for game 1. That's that's what I
No,
read.
he got hurt. No, he
Hmm?
got hurt. From what my buddy went to practice and Tippett was no longer. So you know how they sign autographs after practice, right? At the Voorhees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tippett wasn't there. Tippett got sent home because he's hurt. Yes, I'm making
I'm
more.
not. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. Um, apparently, Jason Kelsey was hitting the ice tonight at the training center. That was about earlier today, around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
I'm I want to tell you something about Jason Kelsey. I'm a
Um,
Special Olympics pyro, New Jersey,
okay.
and his wife is sponsoring our our pyro our powerlifting for New Jersey.
Oh,
Kyla
really?
Kelsey. Shout shout her out. We're going to meet him
Listen, they've
next
always
week.
done great things.
Meet
I know.
them.
Listen, I know people. I know people get a little annoyed with the Kelsey coverage because he is in everything. You can't have a playoff game of the Sixers, Flyers, Phillies, or Eagles where you're not going to have Kelsey
He's
involved.
there.
A commercial where Kelsey's involved. He's literally the face of Philadelphia now, and I get it. Even at times, I'm like, all right, Jason, take a day off, like take a breath, enjoy retirement a little bit. But I do get some people getting overwhelmed with him, but he's the face of the town, and I'm okay with that. I love Jason
He's
Kelsey. Jason Kelsey, Joe, has been everything I would have loved to be as a lineman growing up. If I was big enough to play and strong enough to play and talented enough to play, all those important things to play professional football. That's what I would have want to be. Jason Kelsey, like, which would have been back in the day when I was younger, would have been a thought like not possible. Like a lineman to be a big face of an area, like a lineman, not a quarterback, not a running back or a wide receiver on commercials all the time, but a center. That's kind of why I always gravitate towards Jason Kelsey. You know what I mean? Like, kind of buck the trend.
Yeah. And he's still local. Nobody knows that. He still lives in
Oh,
New
he's right in
Jersey. He
Delco.
lives in Cherry Hill now.
He's in Delco still.
No,
Oh,
he
he's in
owns
Delco,
two
really.
houses. He has one in Jersey.
Oh, I'm not saying he doesn't have more than one house, but his main house is in Havertown, Delaware County, which is about. If I was to leave my house right now, where I'm at, my studio in my house, it'd take me probably about less than 10 minutes to get to Kelsey's house.
I heard he goes to Dolan's bar.
He's been there a couple times. He's been I know there's a McDonald's in Swarthmore he used to hit up a lot. Like, he used to get his breakfast sandwiches from there. There's a couple places that he hits up that are spitting distance from my house. I mean, his wife goes into my son works at a bookstore in Broomall, and his wife, and a lot of other players go in there to get their books.
There you go.
So,
back to the Phillies. Topper needs to go.
yep.
But if that happens,
can we ask Topper and Taiwan to be shipped back in the same box?
Yes.
Like, because
I'm okay with that.
I would be so happy with that. Like, see, no, and
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they're skipping Painter start until Sunday.
Well, Painter starting in Reading on Sunday.
No.
Oh, not
that's
Painter.
Wheeler.
I'm Wheeler's and Reading on Sunday. I don't know. I don't know if it's the matchup thing. I thought maybe the way the pitchers matched up, they thought Taiwan would they could put more of a fight up against this guy because he really wasn't pitching well. Who was it? What was the name of the guy? I just had him up too. Why can't I remember his name? I was just writing stuff down about him.
I don't know.
Perez.
It's not, Sanchez goes tomorrow.
Perez was pitching for them. I mean, he wasn't doing that way. And they don't pounce on people. They don't make the right moves like to gut people. They feel like, don't worry, we'll get them back. And it's not working anymore.
100% agreed. I think after this game, go ahead.
I was telling you that just to give you an idea about Taijuan Walker. His first inning in his last 4 starts, right? On March 30th against the Nationals, he let up 4 runs. On April 5th against the Rockies, he let up 3 runs. On the 11th, he let up against the D-backs 2 runs, and then tonight, 2 more runs against the Braves. So just to put that into consideration, that is 11 runs in 4 innings, and all in the first inning in his last 4 starts.
So, there you go. Zach Wheeler, here you go. One more start. After this, he's called up.
I mean, I guess he goes to the bullpen. I mean, I feel like you're wasting a bullpen piece at that point.
They might put him on the injured list, like Aaron Nola did a phantom injury last year.
Maybe. That's actually probably, I wouldn't be surprised. They could sit there and say he's been struggling because he has been working through something. Wouldn't be you might be onto something there. That wouldn't be the most shocking thing I heard all day.
So,
and I love another thing is I love how the Phillies telecast is trying to sell you. So it's the anniversary of the biggest comeback in Phillies history when Mike Schmidt hit 4 home runs in a single game, and they came back and beat I think it was the Cubs 18-6 or something, or 18-16. Like the biggest comeback in history or Phillies history. I don't know if it's history. And I love how they just keep selling it. because that's what they did.
They're missing Mike Schmidt in the booth.
What was that?
They're missing Smitty in the booth because they let him go.
Well, I don't know how much they're missing Schmitty in the booth, but I think they're just hoping it would juice up the people watching because I mean you got the ratings have to start to slop off right now because and it's going to start affecting attendance down there, and that's the only way this stuff will get through to these people down there. Like what's going on? Like a move.
I can't hear you.
Do you hear me now?
Yes. All
Okay.
good.
So I said we all know how people get super excited about the home opener and then the opening week and all that stuff, and then things kind of slack off a little bit because it's during the week. There's still people going to work and school, so the weekends are a little busier. But when you're putting this kind of product out, and if you lose this series this week, or even get swept, even worse than get swept by the Braves, you're putting yourself in a really deep hole. I mean, the Mets are freaking out. I think they just lost, what, is it 10 in a row?
Yes.
And I love how people are posting, that the Mets fans are freaking out. It makes me feel better. No, it doesn't. When Mets fans are freaking out, and I should be freaking out with them, we're just a half a bit better record than they're doing right now.
Exactly.
We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. And you want Joe, since you're here, I might as well ask you. If anybody wants to call in and let Joe hang on a little bit longer unless somebody comes in on the line. All right, Joe? If you're okay with that. But I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me this question. You see a lot, they talk about rivalries, right? The
Yes.
Flyers, Penguins rivalries. We got the Braves, Phillies this weekend. And then, of course, the Sixers, Celtics, big rivalry. Is a rivalry in your eyes just based on the visceral feeling you have towards a team? Kind of like Dallas and Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys and Eagles, right? But is it really a rivalry when one team is very lopsided for a long period of time? Like the Celtics pretty much have owned the Sixers for the last, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Penguins have a lot more better success in a lot better success in the postseason and cups and contention with each other. But is it a real rivalry when it's that lopsided?
No, it should be a closer rivalry.
So in your eyes, you don't consider it a rivalry unless there's kind of a back and forth.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else listening, if you agree with me, do you agree, disagree? I'm not saying it's true or not. I just want to get your feelings. Is it a rivalry, or you just hate that team, the success that they have against you? Because I mean, I would tell you growing up, there was, if I had to put it in order, Joe, and this is in my feelings, we hated the Dallas Cowboys. And I know like uncles and grandfathers and stuff like that who felt as long as we beat the Cowboys, it was that we could deal with losing to the rest of the teams. We just couldn't lose to the Cowboys. I had the same visceral feelings for the Mets and the Penguins, right?
Yes.
And I could sit there, Mets and Penguins. I could probably put the Penguins a little above the Mets in my eyes, but I would say I'm probably much more of a bigger baseball fan.
So,
hated the Penguins.
I got a question. Where would you put the Rangers? Flyers, Rangers. That would be my top rivalry right there.
You think that's over the Penguins?
Yes. They hate it for New York.
Okay, so now is that more because they're a New York team, or because you think there's an actual rivalry between the teams?
That's an actual rivalry. That's what I thought.
You're talking about a hockey team, all right? Let's talk about hockey teams. Top 3 rivals for the Flyers, in your order too, like from third, second to first.
I'm going to go Rangers number 1.
Okay.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh number 2. And I'm going to go Detroit number 3. No, I'm not counting the Devils. The Devils.
Okay. Why? Why did you pick those 3, and why that order? Tell me why.
Because the Rangers Flyers has the best rivalry in all of sports. It's Philly versus New York. Number 2, it's Pittsburgh. I mean, is it Pittsburgh? No, it's Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes,
Mhm.
I called it Pittsburgh. Number 3, Detroit has won more Stanley Cups than the Philadelphia Flyers combined. And they also beat the Philadelphia Flyers when Eric
Okay.
Lindros.
So that was going to be my next question. Does a rivalry take, for instance, let's kind of think outside the box for a second with the whole rivalry thing. Does the rivalry of a team that just beat you take the Chiefs? That's a back and forth thing with the Eagles, right? They
Yeah,
lost a Super Bowl to them. They won a Super Bowl against them. Is that a rivalry?
yes,
Okay.
because it's a better
Is
team than.
that more, would you put that rivalry at this moment, not overall time or anything like that? At this moment, would you put that rivalry above the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes,
Okay. What are your top 3 Eagles rivalries?
I'm going to go Chiefs. I'm going to go Redskins. Then I'll go to Cowboys.
Why Washington over Dallas?
Washington. Um, because of I want to say the president Joe Gibbs.
Okay. All right. All right, so since we have a busy weekend, before I let you go, I'm gonna let you give me your predictions, all right?
Yeah,
All right. This is Joe Howe's predictions of the weekend. Phillies are down 8-0, most likely losing this game. So the best they can do is 2-1 in the series. How does the series end for the Phillies? Number one.
they only get one victory, and
So you're
after
saying they're
this,
gonna be 1-2 coming out of this weekend.
yes.
Any other Phillies predictions this weekend?
I'll give it to you right now. Topper gets fired after this game. The
This
way,
game. You say
yeah,
you're gonna fire him tonight before tomorrow's game.
yes.
You wouldn't make us upset with that, but I doubt they would fire. They'd probably let him finish out the series, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, don't worry. Guess what, guys? Breaking news: it's the ninth inning, and Atlanta just hit another home run.
Hey, Austin Riley.
Yep, of all people. But all right. So your predictions this weekend:
So,
Sixers, Celtics.
um, Sixers keep it close, and it's in Boston. Sixers keep it close.
It's Boston. Yes, it's on Sunday at 1 o'clock for those who are wondering.
Boston wins by 10.
Okay.
Jason Tatum has a great game.
And the sky will be blue on that answer. Yeah. And your Philadelphia Flyers Saturday game, eight
Fly,
o'clock, 8 p.m. Saturday game.
Flyers win.
They're winning in Pittsburgh. Game 1.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
going to give you a score for that.
Okay.
I'm going to 4-2. And Matty B, I hope you're watching. Flyers score a power play goal. Trevor
Ooh.
Severs and Mr. Marquez.
And Vlad stands on his head.
Yes, he has to.
Okay. One last prediction for you. I don't need a name. I don't need a name. Does the Eagles, since I'm not going to be on until next week after the first round,
Wait, you're not going to be on with them? The Pittsburgh crew?
I might pop on at one point, but right now I'm not scheduled on there. But
Oh,
let me answer the question. Do the Eagles go trenches, O line or D line? Do they go secondary defense that could either be I doubt it's going to be a corner, but a safety or a corner maybe, but most likely a safety, or do they go offensive tight end / wide receiver, or do they make a trade of some sort? Not doesn't have to be AJ Brown, but do they make a trade in the
they
first round?
they trade out of the first round.
They're going to trade out of the first round.
Yes, I have them. I have Arizona knocking on Philly's door for that quarterback that everybody wants.
Okay.
And if somehow they do, I don't see the Eagles trading back into the first round. You and when they do pick, it's going to be offensive linemen. They need help, O line help.
But do they do that in the first round? I guess saying no because you're saying they're trading out. So are they? If they trade out, are they going to get another second round pick, or do you think they get it for next year?
Um, how many second round picks did they have this year?
I think they only have the one, as far as I know. I'll tell you right now. They have only the one. Yeah, they're 1, 2, 3, 2 threes, 2 fours, and 2 fives as of right
They
now.
they trade a third round.
Oh
The
no, I'm
mid-
sorry.
uh,
That's got to be wrong. Hold on one second. I think that's an old one I had written up. Let's see. Because they got their compensatory picks here. Eagles. Here we go. All right, so they have a 1, a 2. They trade away their 3, but they have the Jets 3. They have their third compensatory. They do have 2 3s, so they have the Jets 3 and their compensatory pick. They have the Falcons 4th because they traded their 4th away. Because they did that swap with the Sidney Brown. That was the Sidney Brown trade. Then they have their 4th round compensatory. So that's 2 3s, 2 4s, 1 5 because of the compensatory pick. Because I think when they got Sam Howell, they traded that one away. And then they have no 6 or 7. So that was correct. Okay.
they're going to have 2 number 2 picks in the second round, and they're going to have 6 in the 7th pick.
Okay.
They're going to trade. I'll give you a name right now, Connor McKay.
I think that's possible. I don't know if it's going to be day one though. I don't know if we're going to get what people are hoping we're going to get for Tanner, but I'd buckle in and watch it out.
And newsflash, they keep number 11.
I don't think I'm not. I think that's been so overblown, and especially after the Diana Rossini situation. I mean, where she was the one who was sparking most of that conversation. It's hard for me to take it serious. I'm not saying they wouldn't trade him away. I'm not saying that wouldn't be a possibility of clearing some space, but it would have to be really a huge coup in their situation because they're going to have to eat a lot to trade him. Could they trade him after June 1st? Maybe, but I don't know. I think part of this Mannion run is going to be based on having him around.
So before I get off, can we do a shout out to Ricky? He's not feeling good.
What's going on with Ricky today? Same stuff or?
He has the ammonia again.
Oh, really? Oh man,
So
poor guy. Tell him we're asking for him. Joe, I'm gonna let you go because we're gonna get jumping into the post game show in about 2 minutes here, and already got everybody coming in here. Got a guy here, Car Lemon. Philly sucked. That's absolutely true. We're not going anywhere. Listen, I still think this team can make the playoffs, but it's going to be a lot. And it just doesn't matter if you're not doing anything with it. All right, Joe, I always appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you soon. I don't know if you already left. Oh, Joe said it booted me. All right. I didn't see it boot you, but okay, bud. Thank you as always, my friend. But stay tuned because we're going to be talking your Phillies tonight because as of right now, they're down 9-0. JT's up and he just flared out to center field, so they're down to 2 more outs. So let me get the screen options ready here. Let's flip it on over to the Fighting's final screen. And you know what? I'm gonna bring it in now. Let's bring it in right now. All right, everybody, welcome into the Fighting's final, which is final. It almost. We are 1 out away from the final, and maybe if by the time you catch up to me, you're just about there. They are down 9-0 right now on my screen, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. So I don't see much more happening here. The next 3 guys could hit home runs, and it means absolutely nothing. This Phillies team is just pathetic. Bruce, I feel you're correct. I do feel they need a new manager. There has to be some sort of big change made for this team, some jolting moment for this team to resuscitate itself. Because on paper, this is a good team. On paper, you got Bryce Harper, you got Kyle Schwarber, you got Trey Turner, you got JT Realmuto, you got young Crawford who's really starting to come around. Starting to learn his own. I'm not jumping ahead of him. Yes, that was Dylan Moore. Listen, Star Wars, you could take over right now. No offense to you. I don't know how you could even coach a little league team. I'm just saying, as long as it's not Tom. And I don't need a guy in there just going to go in there and kick and scream. I need a guy to go in there with a plan. That's what I need. Because they seem like there's no plan. The lineup isn't planned out. It is just a annoying, unnecessary. This team shouldn't be this bad on paper. That's, I think, was the most, like, if they were just a bad team and we were just overrating them, like if we were the Colorado Rockies or the Pittsburgh Pirates and we were like, all right, we're not, we could really put, if everything goes right, our guys learn to play 10 times better than they're supposed to. No, our guys are playing below where they're supposed to. That's the nauseating problem with this Phillies team. And I also feel Matty B is right, as Bryce acts like a baby sometimes. He's not going to say he's right or wrong, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care at all about him acting like a baby. That's the least of my problems. They're these superstars are superstars. They're a bunch of rich guys who are used to being coddled to, and they don't like losing, which is whatever. But if Bryce Harper can go into that locker room, because he's the only one to produce tonight. We'll talk about that in just a moment, because we're about to probably go final in a moment. Full count. Turner's up. He's 0 for 3 tonight. It's the bottom of the ninth. One more strike will do the job. Put the old nail in the goddamn coffin. This is taking forever. I hit the button a little early. I'm like, oh, come on. By the time this 30-second thing plays, this team will be out. Well, I guess I was a little too premature. I think Matty Lee can do something better. I think anybody can do better. Hey, look at Trey Turner blooped one in the center field there, or just put her to bed. Come on, man. I mean, I used to listen. I always tell this story. Back in 2008 or 9, I forget what it was. I had to go get a sleep study. I had to sleep at a hospital to get a sleep study, right? And the Dodgers were playing the Phillies, and we all remember Jonathan Braxton. And he was just rocking the world as a reliever, except for the Phillies. Phillies were just his kryptonite. And this team was down 8-1 or something going into the ninth inning. And they came back and won it. And I remember the lady saying, well, we got to turn the TV off. It's time for you to go to bed. It's time for the sleep study. I told her, do not turn this. I will pull these cords off, and I will get the hell out of here. I do not care. And she left it on. Thank you. And I was kind of being a jerk, and I'm kind of sorry. But I do always, anytime I bring up the story, I always say, if she's watching, I apologize to her. But they came back and won it because that team had that factor. This team doesn't have the it factor to be in a game. I mean, they're losing by low-scoring shutouts in football games, 10-0, 9-0. I mean, it's. Listen, I don't know if JT's the leader or not. I don't know if Bryce is the leader. I need to know who the leader is, and that's the problem. I mean, I don't expect them to go get rid of Tomper. We're taking over. We don't need a guy. We don't need Mattingly. We don't need anybody. But these guys need to have an all-team meeting, something along those lines. And Schwarber grounds out. Game over. So, guys, it is final now. 9-0. Phillies continue to lose. And I don't want to hear the Mets are losing. That makes me feel better because that's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. The only time when the Mets lose is when we're winning. That's the only time it means anything. Because when we're losing, the rest of it does not matter. Now, at least the Flyers play great now. Hey, Bruce, I'm on board with you on that one. You know, and some people give people a hard time. I heard somebody giving somebody a hard time. You're not a true Flyers fan. You weren't. And I'm like, and I had to defend them. I said, wait. Don't give this guy a hard time. I was like, the Flyers were put on a pretty bad display for a while, so I get why people maybe felt, and maybe he wasn't a big hockey fan, but he roots for his teams. But that's the subject matter for another show. But Taijuan Walker is just pathetic. Pathetic. I am over him. I thought maybe, just maybe, we could get something out of Taijuan just to be acceptable as a fifth starter. This guy, I was talking right before we switched over the program. I think we said 11 runs in 4 games of the first inning. So each game we put up, I think it was like 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 2. I mean, I understand you're kind of lacking. You have Zach Wheeler out. I guess I get that to a point. This team has no it. And all they can do is people are showing, oh, hey, Felix Reyes just hit another home run for the Iron Pigs. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to bring up the whole Lehigh Valley and let them play? I mean, it's sad. It's sad. So let's jump on the box scores for a second if it really means anything to you. Tonight, Trey Turner was 1 for 4 with a walk. Kyle Schwarber was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Bryce Harper was the only one who, him and Ramuto, who could really hit the ball today. 3 for 4. Garcia was 0 for 2 with 2 walks today. Sosa got his chance today. Started second. He was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Ramuto was 2 for 4 tonight. Bohm was 0 for tonight. He is just struggling mightily. Crawford was 0 for 2. I think he's like 0 and 13 now, 0 and 14, something like that. Dylan Moore came and pitched hit for him. He was 0 for. Kemp was 0 for 4 tonight. I used to really had some high hopes for Kemp. Can we bring up somebody from? Yeah, I think if we can bring somebody up from the minors, give him a chance. Go give Kemp a shower down in Lehigh for a little bit. Maybe he needs to get his juices flowing again. You know, that's how I look at it. What will Topper's excuse be for Walker? Yeah, I can't listen to his post game here. I'm going to try to see what's going on. Elephant, what the hell? What the F was that? That's what the F has been. Like, if that was flipped, where the Phillies were up 9-0 on the Braves, I that would be a startling fact to me. It's almost poetic that it happened that way, that this game played out this way. I'm billing the Phillies for my time lost watching this game. I'm literally going to tell Matty B that if this Phillies team's going to be this way, take me off the finals on Friday. I'm just going to do a Philly Friday frenzy. We'll bitch about them, but I'm not sitting here going through the schlock of a box score. Schlock. You are the owner. What would you do to get this team right on track? You cannot fire Tomper. You cannot fire Dombrowski. You cannot fire Kevin Long. What would you tell the players? What would you want? You're asking me. All right, Star Wars. You give me a second to answer this, but I just want to make sure I'm clear on what you were asking. You're saying that I'm the owner. I own the Phillies, but my hands are tied in the fact that I can't fire the coach. I can't fire the GM. I can't fire Kevin Long or any of the other coaches. What would I tell the players? It's a good question. I don't know if kicking the table or flipping it over. But do you know what I might do? I would walk around with their pay stubs. Now, ceremonially, and rip it. I'm taking all that money. I should be paying your asses. And I'm going to send it to a charity. And I'm going to mail it to every Phillies fan a couple bucks for them to have to sit there and watch your crap while you're getting paid a lot of money. You guys are professionals. Figure it out. What do we have to do? If I can't fire this guy, what does he got to do? What's got to get done? Don't go home. Lock the doors. Nobody goes home. Don't. You can use your showers at home. You ain't wasting my water bill. No, you want something to eat? Stop at McDonald's on the way home. And while you're there, get Taiwan Walker. What's it called? A resume, or not a resume? An application to fill out for a freaking job. That's what I would tell him. That this is unacceptable. This isn't Phillies brand baseball. I understand teams getting slumps. But you guys look defeated, deflated, dejected, downright just terrible. And again, I'm usually not overreacting on teams like this, but there is a systemic problem here. That's what I would tell this team right now. That I'm taking, would you guys be against me taking what I should be paying you guys, say, for the last 10 to 20 games, divvying up, like maybe take all the losses, all the big losses away, taking out how much I paid you, taking that money and donating it to a charity. Or maybe I go buy a bunch of the brown paper bags, like the Acme bags, get them printed out in red with white tears coming down them with where the eye cut holes are out, and give it to the fans as they walk in. We're going to use that money for something worthwhile and make you earn that trust of that players, make you earn the trust of the fans, and make you a feared team that you used to be in the Major League Baseball. That even any other team did not want to play you in fear of how good this pitching was, how good these bats were, because that's what you are not. That's what I would tell them. You tell me if that's good enough. Al, I feel Bryce mainly gets hits when it doesn't matter, or we're either ahead or away behind. So it feels it's not good in the clutch times. Well, the clutch is something big talked about with him. And he's had some slight moments over the since the Team USA stuff and all that, and World Baseball Classic. But you can't hit a 9-run home run, right? So, I mean, you can't get on a guy when he's doing well. Is how I'm looking at it. But you're not off the beaten path, Bruce. You're not. Mikey P. Yeah, I mean, and I like Otto Kemp. I really do. He's batting a 100 right now. He's just useless to a team right now that's floundering. He needs to go back down to the minors and figure something out. There is Raconis. There's all these other guys out down there I think we could bring up right now that may juice this team a little bit, even if it's for a short term, just to kind of like take the jumper cables and clip it on the nipples of this team and just, shock the shit out of them. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. At this point, everybody, like, listen, whatever I can do to get somebody out of here, just go. Get out of my face. Go back to the minors. Figure your shit out or pack your bags and get the hell out. Like, at this point, that's kind of where I'm at. On this day in Phillies history, oh, God. Star Wars, I love you. And I maybe you didn't listen to the show earlier. So, because I did the lead-in with the frenzy. I love this, this was a cool little thing. But I love how they were selling this on the broadcast the entire time. This day in Phillies history, 1976. Most of us weren't alive or just barely alive. I could tell you I was negative 7 years old. Mike Schmidt goes 5 for 6 with 4 homers and 8 RBIs in an 18-16 victory over the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Hit 2 home runs off of Rick Rachul and 1 off of his, and I don't know what it must have cut off wherever you copy and pasted it from. But they were selling this all over the program to maybe rally the fans or make the guys like you and I who are watching it at home swallow or just gulp down and be like, all right, I'm not going to turn it off. I'm going to see what can happen. Maybe that's what they were trying to sell us, Star Wars. But that was great. That was Mike Schmidt. That's all I ever heard about growing up. Mike Schmidt. I got to meet Mike Schmidt when I was very young, and I also got to work in front of him when I was covering the Phillies in the press box. Great guy. Great guy. I know he got a lot of guff when he was younger, and probably a little bit more full of himself, but great guy. How much more we can of this Phillies team? I guess how much more we can take. Ellis, I don't know if I can take much more. I got to do. It's April 17th. I'm dreading to do April 24th and May 1st and every other May 8th, May 15th, and so on and so forth. This team looks terrible. Let's talk about Taijuan Walker. Tonight versus the Braves, he went 4 innings, 7 hits, all 7 earned. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 89 pitches thrown, 50 of them for strikes. He's 1-3 on the season with a 9.16 ERA in 4 starts this season. 4 starts. And I already told you, in those 4 starts, in the first inning of each game, total, he has given up 11 runs. 4 innings. No bueno. Well, this is the turning into a rough look for the Angels. Phillies fans know how all about close drama, but even their standards, this one has to sting. I don't know what you're talking about. Is this the fight the Angels and Yankees fans had in the stands? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I like Crawford. Well, listen, I like Crawford too. He's definitely been struggling a little bit as of lately, as I mentioned earlier. So tonight in 33 at bats, the Phillies put up 0 runs, 6 measly hits, 0 RBIs, 3 walks, and only 5 strikeouts because they're getting weak ass contact. On the other hand, Ronald Acuna had himself a night. He had 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Baldwin was 2 for 5 tonight with 1 run scored and a strikeout. Olsen was 1 for 2 tonight with 1 run scored, an RBI, 3 walks. Riley put daggers in us tonight, and these guys didn't have some great knocking. They're not many of these guys are tearing the cover off the ball at this point. Riley was 2 for 5 tonight with 2 runs, 4 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts. Albies was 0 for 5 tonight with 1 RBI. Yastrzemski was 1 for 3 tonight with 1 RBI and a strikeout. They pinched hit White for him. 1 hit, 2 at bats. That's it for him tonight. Smith was 1 for 5 with 1 run, 1 RBI. Dobin was 0 for 3 tonight, and Harris, the center fielder, was 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 1 RBI. In 38 at bats, they let up 9 runs off of 12 hits and 9 RBIs with 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. That's not good. That's actually just pathetic. It's sad. I hope they're listening, not just because, I can say the Phillies are listening to my post-game show. I hope they're listening. This is terrible. Jordan Romano. What about Jordan Romano? You're talking about something I don't even know what we're talking about. Can you give me a little bit more insight into what you're talking about? Pack Walker's bags and send him to AAA. No. I don't know if you heard my idea earlier. Because I said, I think Star Wars asked me, what would I say if I couldn't fire anybody? What would I say to rile up the team? Yada, yada, yada. And I said, one thing is don't ask for use my showers, lock the doors to the showers, use your showers at home. Don't ask to eat our food. Go stop at McDonald's on your way home. And while you're there, grab an application for Walker. Walker's going to get an application. He could toss cheeseburgers out the window to do the drive-thru and see if he doesn't screw that up. Sorry, I just dropped it there. At least Turner got a hit. Yeah, right. He extended the pain, Elephant. He threw a little salt on the wound. Like at that point, we want your guy to get out. Like we want to get out. What I don't know what you're talking about. What happened with Jordan Romano? I know he's a former Philly. Did I miss some news break about Jordan Romano? The Phillies are 4.5 games behind the Braves. I mean, listen, 4.5 games behind the first place team is not a big deal at April 17th, generally. It's not that. But you can put yourself in a major hole if you get swept out and you continue on this streak. Or if they win one game every series, it's going to, by the time we hit mid-May, a month from now, you might be, we always say you can't win your division in April, but you sure as shit could try to lose it. Not to be cliche or anything, but yeah, Mike, it is pathetic. Absolutely 100% grade A pathetic crap this guy's put out. Walker, like I said, just god awful. Mesa came in for 2 innings, and that's the other thing. They had to use a lot of their bullpen tonight, and guess what? They didn't do too hot. Mesa came in for 2 innings, let up 1 hit, but that was it. Banks came in for 1 inning, let up a walk and a strikeout. Kirkering came in 2 hits, 1 run was earned with that home run. And Sugar came in for him after that for 1 inning to end it off. 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned with a home run. That was the Riley home run, I believe. Pathetic. I was going to go through the scoring, but why would I want to put that salt in your wounds? And I'm going to do a little something for you guys here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the lineup tonight a little bit. Unlike Arc Manager, I'm going to make a small adjustment to the lineup to make this thing more palatable. How's that sound? All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to flip the lineup on its head a little bit. Typically at this point, we will do the Broad Street bottom line. I'm going to save that to the end. I've ranted a lot. I got a little more rant left in me. Let's look at the scoreboard, and then we'll get into it. So let's take a trip down the old around the bases. All right, guys, we're taking a trip around the bases. You know what that means. We're looking at all the other scores, watching everybody else win tonight, but not your Phillies. San Fran is up on Washington 10-5, the bottom of the ninth in Washington. Detroit is tied with Boston, knotted up at 0 on your Apple TV. For any of your Apple guys, you can go watch the game. You got a pitcher's duel going on in Boston right now, mid-ninth. Nothing. Boston gets a chance to come up to win it, or they're going into extras. Yankees and KC are tied up 2-2 right now, the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee is up 4-3 over Miami right now, the bottom of the 8th in Miami. Cincinnati's up 2-0 on the Twins in the bottom of the 5th in Minnesota. Right now, St. Louis is up 4-2 over the Astros at the bottom of the 4th. LA is up 2-0 in Colorado. Top of the 3rd. Now, I don't know if this was real or not, but did anybody see that? Was it snowing in Colorado? Like they had like a snow blizzard or flurry that came in a few hours before the game started. I don't know if I was seeing that right or not, or if it was like some BS. Still to go right now. Angels and San Diego are warming up. Angels and San Diego are warming up. So is Rangers in Seattle. Toronto and Arizona are getting ready to go. Chicago White Sox and the Athletics are getting ready to go. And final for the day. Mets lose to Chicago 12-4. And I don't want to hear that they have a worse record than that. That means nothing to me right now. Baltimore's up 6-4 over Cleveland. As we all know, the Braves spanked the Phillies 9-0, dropping us Phils down to 8-11 in the NL East, and they're 13-7 in the East. In first place, we sit in 4th place. Oh, good. The Mets are behind us. We're so much better. And the Braves, I'm sorry. And Tampa Bay lost to the Pirates 5-1 in Pittsburgh today. That is your trip around the basin. Guys, I want to remind you that there is draft coverage of the first round with our Gridiron Weekly crew. So don't worry, live first round draft coverage right here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Check it out. Don't forget the other great lineups tonight or this weekend. Here's some of my brothers who will be suffering, or the only one brother who will be suffering along with me is Matty B. He's got Saturday and Sunday. He's got to choke down 2 games this weekend because our boy Mike Laro is getting blessed with the Saturday game. The Saturday Penguins Flyers game. He's getting blessed to watch some good Philly sports going on. Matty B will take Monday. Wednesday will be Mikey Laro. And Saturday, again, Matty B will be on the call for at least the first 4 possible games of the Clear the Ice playoff edition. That's right. First playoff edition in the history of the Clear the Ice show. So that's pretty cool. So check that all out. A lot of stuff going on the rest of the week. Best of the It's a Wrap Sports tomorrow morning. Phillies and Braves post game, and then AM Sports. I guess he forgot because this was probably put together before the Flyers. Don't forget to do the Flyers post game tomorrow, and then we got Philly AM with me and Mikey. We'll be talking a lot about that Flyers game, a lot about how the Phillies are looking at that point, and a lot going on. So we'll be talking all about that. Yeah, and someone built a snowman on the field. Okay, so it was real. Okay, I just want to make sure. It's pretty crazy that they're playing too. That was like, I don't know, 2 hours before the game started too. I think they said in the picture. Pretty crazy, Elephant. Pretty crazy. I wish that happened here. Snow out in the stadium. There's nothing. The only thing colder than them is what the snow would be the bats. But that's about it on that. And so, with that being said, here is your Broad Street bottom line. Broad Street bottom line is they are downright sad, pathetic, listless, lifeless team who just doesn't. I don't know what else I can say about this team. I really don't. What more can I say that we haven't all said already or aren't feeling? And I feel like right now it's like salt rubbed in the wounds of you guys. Me even just covering this right now. Like there should be a social media apology. The whole team in the locker room right now. Just a video. We all want to apologize individually to everybody out there who had to watch this crap tonight. And I know, listen, it can get better. I know it's early. I get it. There is just a systemic problem here. It needs to get changed. And that's my bottom line. There's a systemic problem. And usually I'm not on board with this, but I'm on board with this. He needs to go. He needs to go. I think he knows he needs to go. Topper needs to go. He's the only person who can get let go who I feel who would charge this team in the right way. Dombrowski don't move the needle. You can't fire Harper and Turner and all those guys. So what are you going to do with them? Yeah, you could change the lineup to be more realistic. Maybe you could do that. Or maybe you could get Otto Kemp back down to the minors and bring somebody up who's actually hitting the ball. I don't know. That's my bottom line. And my bottom line for tonight, guys. I want to thank you for having to hang out with me tonight. We did talk a little bit Flyers and stuff earlier tonight. We did, I want to give you guys a treat of not hearing me bitch anymore because that's what it's becoming is a bitch fest. Because it is just horrible to sit here. Oh, Bryce Harper's fired up. I'm glad he's fired up. I know I usually don't care about the pandering. He wants to pander to the crowd. Good. You know what? You should pander a little bit. You get paid enough money. Pander away. But I really don't care about Bryce Harper being fired up right now. I want to see him get fired up. And just, oh my God, like I could run through a wall right now. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. Check out all the great It's a Wrap Sports Network stuff going on. A lot of Flyers coverage this weekend. Or Flyers coverage this weekend. Phillies coverage this weekend. And then into next week, Phillies, Flyers, and don't forget the draft week. A lot of week leading up to the draft. It's a great time watching all the stuff go down, some big changes in young people's lives. So check it out, guys. Other than that, thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you guys all next time. And remember, go Flyers. Come on, Phillies. I guess go Sixers. I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up, but have a good night.